Are you stressed out? Yeah, me too. And stress can crush creativity. But studies show that creativity can relieve stress. You can literally punch in "science shows that creativity can relieve stress" in the search engine and get a whole bunch of hits on how it shows that it creates positive emotions. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take these prompt jars and this sheet that I've made in Google Docs, and you can grab yours below for free down just by going in the description and clicking the link. And we're going to turn off our internal editors and have some writing fun. Hi, I'm Kizzy, and I'm the author of over 14 cozy mysteries and quite a few novellas that are some are cozy mystery and some are romance. I'm not going to teach you how to write a short story. There are a lot of great places that will teach you short story structure. This is going to be a follow along. We're going to write this short story together. All we need are a beginning, a middle, and an end. I'm going to attempt to keep it around 800 words, but over the 300 to 500 words, that would make it microfiction. But wherever it ends up is where it ends up. It will be messy and it will be unedited, but that's the point. Relaxing into silliness is the goal. Stick around to the end and I'll read the finished product. But if you want to skip straight to that, this video will be broken into chapters, so you can just go right to the end and see what we end up with. If you follow along and use the prompts and the sheet to write your own, leave a comment with where we can find yours so that we can read it and cheer you on. All right, let's get started. Okay, the rest of this video will be from top view, and the only materials you're going to need are pen and paper if you're going to follow along writing with me. I have some cute gel colored pens that I got from Amazon that I might switch colors just so it shows up better in the video. And what I want to do is go ahead and explain the jars, the prompt jars that I have here and what will be pulling from. So what I have set up is each jar is my blue is a character. For example, it would be something like Dragon Shifter. My green is an action. And at first I had it as conflict, but really I'm going to start with an action and then an action will lead us to conflict. So like made a bad joke. It's really, really simple. And then yellow is going to be our setting, like a limo. Like obviously I'm not going to use these three. They're already pulled out. And so Dragon Shifter in a limo made a bad joke, and then we're going to go from there. We're going to start filling out just some character things, setting things, action that turns into conflict. Go ahead and name our character, kind of really get into it with the short story. And then we'll use this area and also the back to do our writing. But the first thing we need to do is to kind of get in and pull out what we're going to do. So for today, we are going to, we're going to have a serial killer. And these jars are just something I had at home. That's why I'm using mason jars. In an office building. For some reason, my washi tape won't stick here. What's our action going to be to spark our creativity? My hands are going to get stuck in there. It's going to quit their job. Okay. See, I can tell this is already going to be fun, going so many places. Our serial killer quit their job in their office building. And we're just going to dive right into it without doing a whole lot of thinking, without doing a whole lot of letting our internal editor just slow us down. So we're going to make, our serial killer and our carrot blue. So I'm going to grab a dark blue here. Our serial killer is a woman. Her name is Betsy. She is our serial killer. Who does she kill? Let's think about this. Betsy is our serial killer, and she only kills people who abuse animals. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of a trigger warning on this. And I know some people don't like trigger warnings. Some people do. Like, we're going to keep this not gory. We're not going to get too deep into it. It's just, we're not going to make this a horror story. We're not going to make this some type of thriller. I'm not going to get too deep with it. We're going to keep this very surface level and fun. These are just the cards that I happen to pull out. So I'm going to give that at the beginning so that some of you are clicking away thinking, okay, this is not what I signed up for. Betsy is not going to go around killing people in her office building today. But that doesn't mean that she's not going to have thoughts. And so if you are a Dexter fan, which I am very much a Dexter fan, we're going to kind of make her more of a Dexter type serial killer. So Betsy is just this type of serial killer. She doesn't like people who abuse animals, and that's who she goes after very specifically. And she's never been caught. Okay, so next we have our yellow, our office building. This probably isn't going to show up very well if I use yellow, but let's go ahead and see if it does. Nope. So I think I'm going to maybe switch this over to orange. So let's say she works in an office building with what type of office setting? We may have to come back to that. She works in an office setting. One of those office buildings. Downtown high rise, where they constantly celebrate birthdays. But they skipped hers. And she's just had enough. So what type of office building do we have? Maybe she works for a law office. And she's a legal secretary. That's how she never gets caught. Because she knows a whole lot about the law. Okay, and so now we are switching over to our green. I mean, Betsy's, she's a serial killer, so she doesn't get along well with the other people that work where she works. So maybe, they skipped her birthday because they just don't like her. Maybe when she shows up, she doesn't ever sing happy birthday. She just kind of stands there and stares, but that doesn't mean she doesn't feel slighted when her birthday. So she is going to quit her job. But she's not just going to quit her job. She is, she's spiteful. And she is going to go down to the server room. And she's going to take a birthday cake and she's going to smash it into the server. Because she's a little off. Smash it into the server. All right. got Betsy, our serial killer, in an office setting. She works in one of those high rise, she celebrates birthdays. They've skipped hers. The law office, she's a legal secretary. That way, she never gets caught. She's going to quit her job. She's a little spiteful. She's going to go down, even though she might deserve it. She's going to go down to the server room. She's going to take a birthday cake that she has bought herself. She's going to smash it into the server so she can destroy things. So from here, I think we are going to, if Betsy's good at what she does, she doesn't get caught killing people who abuse animals. So I think for our short story, which we know we just need it to have, we want it to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And what we want Betsy to do is we want her to get into server room with her cake. We want her to destroy the server. And maybe we want her to evade the security and either get caught or not. That's the question that we need to answer at the end. So that's how we're gonna set up our short story. Beginning, a middle, and an end. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna draw a line right here. Give myself some room. I'm gonna use the front and the back and just get started writing. What I'll probably do is instead of talking out loud while I'm writing, I'll probably put some music over this and speed it up. So you don't have to sit here and just watch me write, because this could take 20 minutes or more. I don't really know how long it's going to take this first couple times. But if you want to skip to the next part, that's fine. If you want to put on some headphones and listen to your own music while you kind of write, if you want to take your character and the setting and the action in a completely different way, yeah, let's just get started and see where this takes us. So good luck with your short story. Let's go.
Never really know what's going on. Look at me sometimes like all you want to do is run. Hear me out, hear
Okay, and so it's just super short, super silly, really nothing to do with the fact that she's a serial killer, but just that, that's her extracurricular activity. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read it just the way that I wrote it. Grammar and everything really doesn't matter. And I'm just going to get to it and see where we ended up. Um, Betsy dragged her index finger along the back of the public's birthday cake. Who is that for? Allie asked, eyeing her from the next cubicle. Mind your own business, Betsy said. She poured her Diet Coke onto her work computer and let out a chuckle as she heard Allie gasp. She took the stairs down to the server room. Less people to ask questions than on the elevator. They all deserved to have cake smashed in their faces, but this would have to do. She guessed that she had exactly 15 minutes to complete her task. Maybe less if the security wasn't flirting with one of the married paralegals today. She stopped by a vacant cubicle and called their IT guy. She explained that someone had spilled soda all over a computer on her floor. She didn't tell him it was her. His office was outside the server room. She waited in the hallway until he rushed by. Jerks, all of them, she muttered. The door to the server room was unlocked. She held the cake up high, ready to smush it into anything that looked delicate. Hey, stop! Security had already found her? She didn't stop. She shoved the cake hard into the first thing in front of her with flashing lights. Then she threw the box at the security guard and attempted to run around him. He grabbed her, and at first she slipped away because of the cake, but he grabbed her by the waist and put her on the ground. Caught. Oh well. It'd be criminal mischief at the best. Probably should have said at worst, but at best. She glanced up and saw Allie in the hallway. Good thing she knew that she was kind to her animals, or she'd be on her list for revenge. All right, that was kind of fun. Relieved a little stress, gets the creative brain going. Okay, so that was a lot of fun. And just really just about getting some prompts, getting some creative juices flowing, and filling up a page, getting some words down. And if you have been stressed and unable to write lately, maybe that'll push you into being able to just sit back down at your computer and get the words flowing on whatever project needs your attention. Or maybe you can do this yourself with, putting your own jars together or just making lists and kind of mixing up, a character, a setting, an action that kind of turns into a conflict. And then you can kind of make your own little short story challenges. You just need, like I said, a beginning, a middle, and an end, and then you can put this together and then put this together and then come up with something for yourself that gets the creative juices flowing. I'm going to keep doing these weekly. Don't know what I'm going to pull out of the jar. I've kind of, at this point, because they've been sitting for a little while, I've forgotten what's in there. So it's going to be interesting what I pull out and what's going to happen. So I really, really am excited to see where this goes. And I hope that you will continue to like and subscribe and join me to see what we get next week. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you next time.